perhaps the most interesting topic. We all seek happiness, emotional support, and a loving relationship. So, we'll talk today at length, not so much in details, but some principles which governs the laws of happiness, how to increase emotional intelligence and better our relationships. Let me start this session with a quote from German philosopher Schopenhauer. He asked, "How can we determine whether a man is happy or unhappy?" He defined true happiness as the complete satisfaction of all desires. Is it possible? You could say that the happiness of a person can be described mathematically. In one of those lighter moments, this equation came as an inspiration. Like if all the desires are fulfilled, let's say you had 10 desires, and out of these 10 desires, all 10 desires are fulfilled. That means 10 divided by 10 times 100. It'll be 100% happiness, isn't it? Let's say if out of 10 only 5 are fulfilled, then it would be 50%. But think of an individual who says he has no desires, the total number would be 0. So what would happen to this equation? Happiness is equal to desires fulfilled divided by total number of desires. Where total number of desires tend to be 0, anything you divide by 0 remains indeterminate factor. Earlier days we used to call it as infinite. In a desireless state, we don't expect anything. When we don't expect anything, we don't manipulate others. Why would I have to even manipulate or think about having a better relationship, for example, for the sake of my happiness or for the sake of fulfilling my desires? In that case, my happiness is dependent on outside. Our experiences show that when you're angry, that's a moment when we lose this inner emotional balance. That happiness seems to simply disappear in fit of anger. And when does anger appear in the heart? When certain things are happening against your will or against your desire. So such disappointment leads to anger. Anger makes us lose our balance, and once we lose our mental equilibrium, somehow we lose our humanity, because humanity, that human nature, human character, it is all about humanness, which arises from the heart. When the heart is in a state of anger because a small desire was not fulfilled, then it speaks a lot about our nature. We need to change that inner nature so that we remain in a position to accept things. If one wants to have infinite happiness, infinite bliss, then we ought to minimize numbers of desires, from more and more of it to less and less, and finally, if possible, to 0. Make peace with yourself. So, to arrive at such a state of the heart which accepts, which loves, which remains constantly in a state of compassion, this is possible only when I go deep within my heart, touch the real conscience, feel that real conscience all the time. Allow that conscience to rule our life. When one transcends all these differences within oneself as well as within friends and family circles, then there's beauty to such a life. Key is to go deeper within your consciousness and touch the pure conscience. With the help of transmission, yogic transmission we call pranamukti, meditation becomes deeper and deeper each time you practice it. So, what have we learned out of this? The key to happiness is to remain in tune with our inner purity, with our inner compassionate state, inner chambers of the pure heart. And when we remain pure and innocent like little children, then magical thing happens. Let's say if you have 10 desires and all the 10 desires are fulfilled, that means 10 out of 10, right? So you have 100% desires fulfillment. Let us call it 100% happiness fulfillment. As the numbers of desires increases, happiness will go on decreasing. And Babuji, as he puts it, more and more of less and less. Less and less of what? Desires. And when it tends to become zero, anything you divide by zero, your happiness will multiply and become infinity. So our goal also is that, how to zero down on our desires. In relation to universe, we think ourselves as superior and most advanced. In fact, the prejudice is nothing but an offspring of superiority. Repeat. We can consider prejudice as nothing but an offspring of superiority. Prejudiced mind reflects non-acceptance. Acceptance promotes happiness and joy. Happiness and joy in turn facilitates openness of the heart. Open heart is the recipient of the grace from our Lord. So it's only in our interest that we remain cheerful, happy, open-hearted.